Hello, everyone. My name is Danny, and this review is for The Breadwinner. All right. So, hailed as the best animated feature of 2017 and nothing short of exceptional, The Breadwinner is an inspiring and vibrantly animated tale about the power of stories to sustain hope and carry us through dark times. Parvana is an 11-year-old girl growing up under the Taliban in Afghanistan in 2001. When her father is wrongfully arrested, Parvana cuts off her hair and dresses like a boy in order to support her family. Working alongside her friend Shaza, Parvana discovers a new world of freedom and danger. With undaunted courage, Parvana draws strength from the fantastical stories she invents as she embarks on a quest to find her father and reunite her family. This is a 2017 film, rated PG-13. It runs about an hour and a half. And I don't think there's any voices that we would actually know in here, so I'm just not going to cover that part because I don't see anything about it. So, yeah. I think this pretty much does its own review. I'll just say my notes. Here we go. So, right away, the first scene, it's an animated movie. It has the father and the daughter sitting next to their rug trying to sell stuff. And they're not really selling anything, and that comes to light why, and pretty much everybody in the world knows why. But I'll cover that in a minute. So, it's an animated movie, and it has these people just kind of sitting there, and they're talking, and the father tries to give the little girl a history lesson. And my first thought is, are we really going to give a history lesson to start an animated movie? Like, who are they targeting here? They're not targeting children, because nobody's going to care about a history lesson. They're not going to target adults, because we don't want to hear the subject of the Taliban. So, who is the target audience of this movie? So, I keep watching, and I keep going, and keep watching it. The Taliban gets more and more to be the focal point of this movie, and I just keep wondering who would actually want to watch this. And so it's hailed as such a great animated movie, but why would you make it about the Taliban? Like, what's the point here? And it gets heavy. One person gets beat by a gun. A couple people get shot at. Yeah, it's kind of brutal. This father that gets taken away for no reason, he kind of talks back. He kind of pokes, the law enforcement there, the Taliban. I mean, everybody knows that they're running things, and he says something smart. He knows it's smart. It's not being taken away, really. I mean, he pushed it by saying what he said. So this is really a real movie. I mean, it's cartoons, but they're saying real life stuff. People are getting thrown in prison. Families are being torn apart. Little girls are being sold into marriage. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, people. It's a really brutal, hard movie to watch. So I'm going to say the good things is that every once in a while, I don't know if there's really any point to them, but they're neat. The animation is up there with Coco, because Coco won all these awards this last year. So if this movie was about anything else, I think people would be flocking to it, because the animation is stellar, really. So you need to, kind of embrace that if you're going to watch this movie, to see how great the animation is. But, and that's one of the few good points. And the storytelling is kind of irrelevant, because they're just kind of telling stories to pass the time. They're kind of telling stories to keep these younger children entertained. So it doesn't really have a point, but it is really neat. And the animation of the dreams or the made-up scenario stories is kind of cool. Obviously, this movie being about people in war and persecution and all this other stuff, and women's, have no rights whatsoever. This movie is very much about family, and that point does get through, and I do appreciate it. So I appreciate movies being about family. Pushing that point, home is a good thing. It does have good morale, kind of a lesson. The kid who throws the dad in jail ends up going off to war, and they're like, yeah, you're going to prove that you're a man today. So he probably ends up dying. I mean, it's just there's kind of some justification, but I think that's more coming from a person who lives in the U.S. more than an adult who's watching a kid's movie that doesn't need to be a kid's movie. So I'm kind of cheering for the Taliban people to die, but even if they're a cartoon, which is kind of messed up. Obviously, the message of survival is always good. We get to watch movie after movie after movie about surviving some crazy situation, whether it be fire or a sea monster or whatever. So this is about a story of survival, and that's always kind of tugs at humans' heartstrings. And it's sort of funny. It's fine. These two younger boys that the movie's about, they don't sound like boys whatsoever. And I really kind of end up missing Mulan from back in the day, and how she had a scene of trying to practice talking like a boy. So this was on that level, and I don't know why they didn't do that. Were they just too lazy to actually get some girls that could talk like boys, or get some boys cast that could sound like the girls? Or I just thought it was kind of lazy filmmaking that way. I mean, the girls just sounded like the girls, even though their animated character was going into boy mode. So, but other than that, I mean, the messed up part of that is that they actually get to have some fun. They get to kind of create a friendship, and they're kind of funny along the way, and they say a lot of appropriate lines, oh, really, you're a genius, when they just put their hand in a chicken's nest or something. I mean, there's nice, light-hearted, fun moments of this, because it's a movie about characters, and they get things to do. But I just don't know why you would make a movie like this. I don't know who's going to watch it. I don't know. I mean, is anybody going to watch this review? I don't know. Has anybody seen this movie? I don't know. It is hailed as the best animated movie, but it's about a horrible subject that is so insensitive, really, to this time and age of American life. I just don't know how the rest of the world sees it. I'm surprised it made it to the U.S. I'm surprised they're putting this, out there for children to watch. Like, oh, this could be some nice little animated movie. I'm really shocked, and I think it could be a very good dialogue session for any church or civil rights group or worried parent group of any school in the world that this movie is out there. So I have to give it a D. That's the worst grade I give as a movie critic. So I'll give it a D plus for being nice, lighthearted, lesson learning kind of fun. But I can't believe they made it about the Taliban. I can't believe there is any movie out there trying to paint a good image of the Taliban. I just can't. So thanks a lot for watching this, if anybody watches this. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, like and subscribe to my channel, and enjoy your movies. Thanks a lot.